Hello students, today we are going to start with civics. We have completed our geography. Today we are going to start with civics chapter 2. The name of the chapter is secularism, the soul of the constitution. The soul of the constitution means the heart of the constitution. Our constitution, the Indian constitution we say, right? The Indian constitution is basically based on secularism, means it is the soul, heart of the constitution. Now what is this secularism? Secularism means what? Providing equality. No difference between caste, creed, color, religion, means everything or everyone is equal before law. Now let's see what's written in your book. India's national movement was not merely a struggle against the foreign rule, it was also a struggle to rejuvenate the country and to transform its society and politics. There were sharp differences of opinion within the leaders of the freedom movement about the path of the India should take after independence. Such differences are, well, for enlightened dissent is very stuff of the democracy, yet some basic ideas had come to be accepted by almost everyone. Now see, Indian national movement was not merely a struggle against the foreign rule. It was not basically to fight against the foreign rule, but it was also the fight that after independence, that after we get freedom from the foreigners, right, from the British, which path will our country lead? There was a conflict between the freedom fighters also, okay, but somehow they came to some short decisions also, okay. Now let us study what is there. Vision in the Indian constitution. Secularism emerged as an important dominant principle during the freedom struggle itself. The leader of the Indian National Congress, Gandhi, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, Nehru and others were deeply committed to the ideal of secularism, though each of them expressed it in different ways. Means our Indian National Congress leaders like Gandhiji, Maulana, then Nehruji, they all were committed to the ideal of secularism. They all wanted what? Secularism in the country. They all wanted equality. Means they want everything or everyone to be equal in front of the law. But they expressed they have different opinion and they expressed it in different ways. However, when India gained independence in 1947, the subcontinent found itself engulfed in the wave of religious frenzy. It is to the credit of our leaders that they resist the temptation to declare India a Hindu state. The word secular was actually added to the preamble by the 42nd Amendment, which came into force in 1976. Now, after India gained the independence in 1947, the subcontinent found itself engulfed in the wave of religious frenzies. Means after we got the independence, there was what? There was many religious frenzies also, many religious conflicts also. But at last what? India was declared as an Hindu state. The word secular was actually added to the preamble by the 22nd Amendment, which came into force 1976. The word secular was added when? In the 42nd Amendment, which came into force in the Indian Constitution when? 1976. The term secular denotes the threefold relationship between man, state and religion. As I told you, the term secular denotes a threefold relationship between man, state and religion. The term secular means it shows the relationship between the person, religions or what state it is, okay. The word secular has not been defined under the constitution. A secular state is one that protects all religions equally and does not unfold any religions as a state religion. The word secular has not been defined under the constitution. The constitution has not defined what does the word secular means, okay. The word secular itself protects all the religions equally. The word secular means what? It gives equal rights to the people of all religions and does not uphold any religions as a state religion. Means it does not mean that majority of people lives in one state, so that state is Hindu state, that state is Assamese state. Not like this. Clear? The Indian Constitution aims at the social order wherein in the state would be sovereign, secular, and the government would be elected by accountable to people, and the government also will be elected through votes only, not with the majority of the people. Now let us see what is the objectives of the preamble. Now what were the objectives of the preamble? Okay, what is the preamble? Preambles is just a short written of the what? Indian Constitution. Okay, what you will get in Indian Constitution is written in the preamble. You can say it is just like a prospectus. Now let us see what is the objectives of this preamble. I have written in the board, just see. The objectives of preamble are justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Now see, what is justice? By looking at the term justice, what we come to know? Justice means there should be justice for all people, all kind of religion, caste, creed, anything. Justice should be equal, means all the people should be equal before law. Let's see what is written in your. Citizens are not discriminated against on the ground of caste, religion, and gender. It should not be like this, that justice should be equally for all. You should not differentiate between gender, whether it is male or female, whether any caste, religion. You cannot discriminate any religion and give justice to the people. Justice should be equal for all the religions, in spite of their caste, religion, or creed. Okay. Next comes liberty. Liberty means freedom. Everyone should have equal freedom. Citizens are free to choose their own way of life. All the citizens should have the right to choose their own way of life. Next, equality. All citizens are equal before law. People belonging to different religion, the rich and the poor, men and women, all have equal status and rights and are entitled to equal opportunities. Now, equality. What does equality means? All the people are equal before the law. Whether the person is rich, whether the person is poor, whether it is men or whether they are women, all are equal before law. कानून के सामने सब समान होगा, ना कोई अमीर होगा, ना कोई गरीब होगा, ना कोई औरत होगा, ना कोई मर्द होगा. जो कानून है वो सबके लिए सेम होगा. Means the law is equal for everyone. Next comes fraternity. In the unity and integrity of the nation, there has to be a sense of brotherhood and solidarity among the various groups. Thus, the Constitution promotes fraternity to overcome any communal feelings among different communities. Means the Constitution does not support any sort of communal feelings. Okay, means there should be no communal feelings among the people, that some people are Hindu, some people are Assamese, some people are Muslims. You cannot differentiate the peoples. Okay. In the totality, the Constitution reflects the vision of the secular democratic republic as set forth by its founder. It states the goal for which one has to strive. Now, next comes this. You have to come to know what are the objectives of preamble. Justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Means justice means everyone should get equal justice. Liberty means the citizen should have the liberty to choose his own way of life. Then equality. Before law, whether rich, poor, men or women, all are equal. And fraternity means there should not be any communal feelings. Okay. Now next comes secularism got translated into law. How secularism get translated into law? For India, secularism represents a true sense of synthesis of religion and compassion with the spirit of tolerance, universalism and freedom. The ideal of secularism, equal respect for the belief of multi-faith society and non-interference of the government in religious affairs, is the best guarantee or the continuing unity of a country with extreme diversities. The ideal of the amendment in the Indian Constitution in the form of articles which provided the framework of the laws of nation. According to articles 14 to 21, no discrimination will be made on the basis of caste, creed, gender or class. Now see, in the Constitution also there is an article from Article 14 to 21. What it is mentioned in the Constitution of Indian Constitution, that you cannot differentiate a person, because you cannot discriminate a person because of its caste, religion, creed, right? Caste means कौन से जाति का है, creed, then religion, whether he is black, whether he is white, you cannot differentiate the persons. Okay, to prevent any discrimination based on caste, temple entry law have been enacted by many of the state legislature. The Central Untouchability Act of 1955 provides that any attempt to prevent Harijans from exercising their rights to enter a temple is punishable with imprisonment or fine or with both. This is one of the cases where the ideal of the secularism got converted into law. It illustrates that the secular civil law is equally applicable to all the Indian citizens. Now see, there is an incident in the Act of 1955. In the Act of 1955, there were a community named Harijans. Okay, they were forbidden to enter what? They were forbidden to enter in the temple by many people. But when they fought for themselves, government gave them the equal rights, that the person who stops them, the person who will stop the Harijans to enter the temple, they have to pay fine or they have to go to imprisonment, or they can be charged with both imprisonment and fine also. This shows that the Act of 1955, this shows us that this shows the secularism has taken the place of law also. It is not only for saying, it has converted itself into law also. Understood, students, how secularism is translated into law? This is the incident which is mentioned in your book, the Act of 1955, Harijans Act. Okay, what is this Harijans Act? The Harijans, they are the people, they were not allowed to enter temple, but the people who stopped them to allow the temple were charged with fine or they were given imprisonment. This proves that everyone is equal in front of law. Okay, now next comes secularism as translated into fundamental rights. Now students, this fundamental rights, how this secularism got translated into fundamental rights. Okay, we all know the fundamental rights of us. There are how many fundamental rights? 6 fundamental rights, right? But I want to discuss it in a broad manner. Okay, so we will discuss it in our next video. Okay, till then you all just go through it.